Hi there. So this is a video for teachers who work with young children aged 3 to 5 years old. It's called How to Distract Young Children into Behaving Themselves, because what I, as a mother, particularly working in schools, what I see a lot of the time is that teachers, they get desperate and they get angry, and it's easy to fall into a negative cycle of shouting at children and just not really creating a positive environment that as a mother and as a human being I think children are entitled to. So I would like to give you guys some techniques so that you can distract children and help them behave themselves, help them be on their best behaviour because they want to be and because they're engaged. So the first tip that I can give you is a routine, and that doesn't mean in the way that some teaching methods, they're like a daily routine, so you've got to talk about the days of the week, talk about the months of the year, the colours, blah blah blah. It's not that kind of routine. The routine means that they hear a particular song and they know what to do. So for example, I come into my 3-year-old classes, they're already there doing something else with their other teacher. I come in and I put a song on, and it's actually the Hello song. I'm going to try and put it in a link at the bottom. It's, you know, Matt, wonderful Matt, he's a great guy. We love you, Matt. And with that song, they know that they have to come and sit in a circle, and they sing the song as well. When they've heard it a few times, they start singing it, but they know. And I come and get them one by one, and I come and help them, the 3-year-olds, sit down on the floor. Hopefully there's some tape on the floor. That's a really good idea, actually. I hadn't thought about that. In schools, the teachers call it the assembly area on the floor, and if you've got some tape on the floor, coloured tape, that you can just tell the children, come and sit down on the yellow lines. If you don't have access to the internet or YouTube, you're not allowed to use videos in your classes, then, and obviously in this case the Hello song is not the video, it's just the song, just the music. You can sing. So as you're you can sing, just resort to singing. As you're picking up the children and getting them to come and sit on the floor, you can start singing the song. Everybody sit down, sit down, sit down. Everybody sit down on the yellow line, or whatever colour the line is. I mean, if you haven't got a line, well then it's on the floor. And as you're bringing the children down, they're sitting down. They should eventually, after a few days, get the hang of this song, and that means come and sit down. And then you can start saying, everybody sit down, sit down, sit down. Everybody sit down, just like Valeria. And repeating their names, and they really like that. They feel good and they feel special when they know that they're doing something right. So rather than shout at the ones that are doing something wrong, you call the ones out that are doing something good, and you say their name. And the ones that are running about still and they're like playing in the little kitchen thing that they've got there or there with teddies, then you can physically go up to them, lead them by the arm or by the hand, and sit them on the floor as you're singing the song. I would maybe like you should take a look back at the video on how to settle children down if you're having a particular problem with that part of the class. But my first video was called How to Settle Children Down, Songs to Settle Children Down. So take a look at that one. Another idea is if you've got older children that come in from the playground, you can go in a couple of minutes before, and it's really useful to have some relaxing music. I'm going to put another link there. Pull the blinds down so it's quite dark, relaxing music, and as they come in, maybe you need to send them out to get some water and go to the toilet, but then when they actually come into the class, have them sit down one by one on the floor, slowly and carefully, and have them just behave themselves on the floor. And that works with older children. It's a really good way to get them kind of ready to get engaged. And then basically some classes, especially with this age, you're kind of moving between a small activity, which is actually the content of your class, and classroom management techniques or little ideas to get them settled down. The first one, which is really obvious, that I would like to introduce right now, is the silence sign. So the thing is with kids, if you tell them to do something, they copy and they do it. So, you know, like put your hands up and one finger on your lips and shh. Now this is the silence sign. Okay. And hopefully if you're lucky, they'll have done it in other classes and they know what that means. And eventually you'll just be able to go like this and wait, and you'll realise that the children will just copy you, and most of them will start behaving. They'll be like nudging each other if there's someone talking, you know, a little bit of peer pressure control there to behave themselves. That's the first one. The other one is the Roly Roly Poly song from my other video. That works really well. I don't know why, but if you just say uh-oh and start singing the Roly Roly Poly, up, 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 they just listen to that and they sing along with it. And have a look at the video to see how that works. It's a good one, the Roly Poly song. So then in between these ideas, you're doing activities, like you might be doing something on the board, you might be working with the flashcards, you might be playing a game. You'll see that young children, if they're not involved, they talk or they chatter, they turn around, you know, they're free to do that. So you've got to bring them back to the group quite a lot. So another way of doing that is, hands up. Everybody put your hands up. Put your hands down. Hands in front of you. And clap. Just let them clap. Hands behind you. So you're learning prepositions here as well. And clap. And they'll be like, I can't do it. But it gets them thinking and it gets them listening. Everybody sit down properly. Cross your legs. Fold your arms. Fingers on your lips. And then at that point you can just kind of correct the ones that are not doing it. But that's a really good one to bring all the children back into the lesson with you. Another one that I really like is please be quiet. Please be quiet. So you can really raise your voice with this one, like to get them listening to you at first of all. Please be, and then you wait. Quiet. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. And then you say it quieter and quieter and quieter. But what you're aiming for is you say please be, and they say quiet. But you start off at a loud volume, almost shouting, but just an assertive voice, and you bring it down so it's like please be quiet, please be quiet, please. So that they just control themselves. They do it all by themselves. It's magic. It's wonderful. That's something that you've got to teach them. But the repetition of the phrase please be quiet, and initially you say quiet, just children and people naturally finish the sentences that you don't finish yourself. So something that you can teach over a couple of classes, and then that's a really good one to fall back on when you've got children being a little bit disruptive. Then one that I really use with, especially all of my kids love this of any age, is a Bumblebee song. It should have really got in my in my songs video, but I didn't. So it's good because you're like, what's that? What's that? And then, you know, somebody they'll be like, it's a bee, or they might say it in their language like abeja, avispa, whatever, or Japanese. I don't know what the Japanese for bee is. And you're like, got it. And they're kind of, some of them will copy you at first, and then you sing the song. And this is a camp song that I learned when I was in brownies or Girl Guides as a kid. I used to love it then. I didn't really use it. I didn't really realise it was a technique to get you to be quiet. But for me, it works. So, got it. I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Ow! It stung me! And it's really funny when you get that, because the kids do that, ow! And some of them, I've done this with 1 and 2 year olds, and they repeat the "it stung me" part. So you leave them enough space so that they can repeat that. And then I'm squishing up my baby bumblebee. Really make your face angry with this. Won't my mummy be so proud of me? I'm squishing up my baby bumblebee. Ugh. It's yucky. And yucky is a really good word as well, because you can use that throughout throughout their lifetime of learning English. Yucky. It's yucky. I'm wiping off my baby bumblebee. Won't my mummy be so proud of me? I'm wiping off my baby bumblebee. See, mummy? I'm all clean. Oh, but my sweater and your jacket and your trousers, yucky. So you can see that that's also a really good way to involve each individual child, because you say, oh, your t-shirt and your uniform and your whatever. And also it's a good way to review clothes. So perfect. It's a really good little song, that one. Oh, and then there's another one. This is a little bit strange. When I first heard of this idea, someone told me about it. I was like, yeah, whatever, that's just stupid. But no, you draw on the board a candle, and you're like, what's this? And they probably won't know the word in their language. In your language, in English, but they'll probably know it in their language. You're like, yes, that's it, it's a candle. I might draw one here. No, I'm not going to do that. And you draw a flower on the board. And they're like, oh yeah, a flower. And then you take it and you give a flower to everybody. A flower for you, flower for you, flower for you, flower for you. And they're like, give one to me, give one to me. And me. Yeah, flower for you, flower, flower, flower. And then candle, candle, candle. And you give everybody a candle. And then you smell the flower and blow out the candle. Smell the flower and blow out the candle. And you can draw this out to maybe 4 or 5 times, and it really does work. They start to just breathe and just relax. It's kind of magic, that. I mean, I was doing one of these. I was working with a difficult class of very, very young children, and I used these techniques on them. And the coordinator of the school came in, and she was like, "Oh, you're like a child whisperer or something." And it's kind of true. You have to have these techniques and these kind of a mixture of psychology and good common sense. It's almost hypnotism in a way. You can just relax. They're pliable, and you can help children relax themselves on their own rather than shouting at them, which is very negative. So I would like you all to try out your child whispering techniques, and please do watch the other video, and I hope it all works out for you. Take care. Bye.